Guys, Anthony here. Welcome back to another video. Now, over the summer, I did almost $200,000 with only image ads and long form copy. And in today's video, I want to show you how to fix broken ads inside of your ad account. So how you can essentially take any ads that are failing. Maybe you watched my content, you were convinced about image ads and long form copy. Hopefully my channel at this point has substantiated enough evidence to support the idea that image ads are the most broken way to start a dropshipping store in 2025. Maybe you tried them out for yourself and you launched them in your ad account and you saw really high CPMs, high CPCs, no conversions. In this video, I want to show you and demonstrate to you what is probably going wrong with your copy that is leading to these terrible metrics and performance. And I want to show you how to fix it in less than 10 minutes using AI. So without wasting time, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Now, the reason why I got this video idea in the first place was because we had a guy in our community named Christian. So shout out to him. He recently relaunched his ads and he made one key change that allowed him to drop his CPM from 100 to 200. I forget what it was, but it was extremely high. This guy had $3 to $4 cost per clicks. He had an awesome product, awesome landing page. Honestly, probably the best store in the entire group, or that I've seen of in the last year or two running this community. But his ads were just completely flopping. He made this one change, and literally after making these changes, he was able to, in the last 3 days, spend $240. $1.25 cost per click, $42 CPM. He's got 4 purchases and he's at almost a 2 return on ad spend blended on the account. And so far it's going well, right? And I want to talk about him and his learning because he kind of spelled out the entire point of this video, which is things I've learned so far. Your lead is everything. Anthony will tell you how dog shit my copy was when I started. And Christian, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry to admit, this is going to make me sound like an asshole, but the copy was dog shit. And I want to show you now how to improve your copy and give you an example of a piece of copy that to the untrained eye looks like it would convert really well, but to the trained eye who knows this one thing that I'm about to teach you is complete dog shit. So let's go ahead and take a look at some copy and show you how to transform your losing ads into winners. Okay, so here is one of my best performing ads for a store called Purify. And this is one of my top performing ads, and I have it on screen here so we can kind of break down the elements that we're going to be focusing on that you need to fix. So I'm going to be operating under the assumption that if you're somebody who's using the strategies that I teach on this channel, that you already know that we use what's called a native image, or in other words, an image that looks organic to the platform or native to the platform. It should look nothing like an ad. It should have no edits. It should look like something somebody would either post to the platform or some type of sponsored content like a BuzzFeed article would use as the thumbnail for an image or an article. Something, again, that looks native to the platform. It looks like just run-of-the-mill content on the platform. So we have the native image, and then right here is where we have the long form copy. And this right here is the hook. Hook and headline are going to be used interchangeably. I really don't pay much attention to this literal headline on the Facebook side because honestly, it's not super important, or I haven't found it to have any meaningful impact in performance. It doesn't even show up on a lot of the placements, so you can kind of just disregard this entirely. What I'm focused on here is the hook and the first section of the ad copy, the first 100 to 200 words of the ad copy, which we refer to as the lead. So every piece of copy is going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, okay? We are only concerned with the beginning, or in other words, the lead, okay? And the lead, if you guys know the 80-20 rule, okay, which states that 80% of your results will come from your 20% of inputs. I want you to know right now the lead is your 20. And take it from this guy, take it from our community member, Christian. Your lead is everything. And how he was able to transform his results literally just by changing or really focusing on his leads and writing better leads. So the lead is going to include the hook, which is this section here, and then the first few sentences after the see more button. So I have a couple of examples here. We're going to look at a good lead versus a bad lead. And we'll start with the example of the bad lead first. Now, when you use any of the prompts for generating long copy, you're going to get something that looks like this, right? And unfortunately, most people who have never written copy themselves manually or just aren't super experienced are going to throw this directly into their ad account or something that looks like this directly into their ad account, and it's going to flop. And the reason for that is because the way ChatGPT and Claude write they actually, even with a really good copy generating prompt, unless you have a prompt that is specifically designed for creating a lead and being intentional with what you want to see out of the lead, it's going to create these very generic, story driven, almost expository opening leads for your copy. And the issue with that is when it comes to a Facebook ad, if you think about the anatomy of a Facebook ad, and let's just clean this up really quick. Okay. If you think about the anatomy of a Facebook ad and how users actually interact with an ad, the way that it works is you have a news feed, you're just scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling, right? All of a sudden we're scrolling and then boom, my ad pops up on screen. My audience is not going to see, and your audience too, is not going to see anything. Where's my pen? They're not going to see anything that's beyond that first sentence, right? They're going to see the image. Maybe they see this, but most people are not even going to read that. So usually they're going to see the image and they're going to see this hook. So if the hook is attention grabbing, they'll give you a fraction of their time. They'll give you a little bit more of their time. And that is why the lead needs to be very important, because the hook will grab their attention. And if you don't captivate their attention even further, then they're not going to read the rest of the copy. And if they don't read the rest of the copy, they're not going to be able to get sold on the product, and then you're not going to make any sales. So that is why the lead is so important, because it's literally our first opportunity to convince someone that our copy is even worth reading. Now, how do we actually convince someone, and how do we make the copy irresistible to read? The most effective way to do this is to focus on using what I call the rule of one, or what I've learned to be called, rather, the rule of one. And the rule of one is this idea that was introduced to me in a book called Great Leads. You might also recognize it from the great advertiser David Ogilvy, who had a similar rule. But the rule of one states that every great promotion, and you can substitute the word promotion for headline or hook, has one big idea, one core emotion, one captivating story or fact, one benefit, and one inevitable response. The issue with most copy is that, or most of the copy that I read and correct for people that doesn't convert, is that it's lacking one big idea, it's lacking one core emotion, and it's lacking focus. There's all these different things that Claude and ChatGPT are trying to stuff into the first 100 to 200 words. And so let's go to our example of a bad lead. And the person watching this video is a community member, and they know that this is their copy. I'm sorry to put you on blast, but we already helped fix this. So let's take a look at the lead here. Okay. Now, again, what I'm looking for, usually within the first 3 sentences, I know whether or not the copy is going to convert. So what we're looking for is one idea, and we're looking for one core emotion. Okay. It should be very clear what is being said, and it should be very clear how someone should feel when they read the copy. So let's read it. What's the one thing your anxiety or panic attacks have stopped you from doing? Has it gotten to the point where you've forgotten what being normal even feels like? For me, the breaking point came at my daughter's piano recital. Okay. So in this instance, it's clear that we're going after anxiety and panic attacks. But are we driving an emotional response from our audience? Well, are there any emotionally charged keywords, phrases, descriptions in this first instance? Kind of. I mean, we have the phrase, what being normal even feels like, but this is a really good example of what Claude and ChatGPT tend to do. They tend to tell instead of show. So here in this example, outside of the words anxiety and panic attacks, there are no emotionally charged words, phrases, or descriptions that are going to make somebody feel something. And the main thing that we want somebody to feel in a piece of copy like this is to feel the whatever emotional outcome they're trying to avoid in fulfilling the desire that your product is, that you are framing your product to solve. So what I mean by that is, if we have the desire to stop feeling anxiety and panic attacks, or if we have the desire to, let's just say stop feeling anxiety and panic attacks, what are the emotions that someone's trying to avoid in wanting to achieve that desire? So let's say it's embarrassment, let's say it's shame, let's say it's fear, right? There's all these different emotional charges. Let's say in this case, it's fear. Somebody really fears what anxiety is going to do to their life. Then we want to make sure that our lead is attention grabbing, curiosity driving. It makes people want to continue reading, but then it also drives whatever that core emotional outcome they're trying to avoid is. So in this case, let's say it's fear. And there's no words, there's no descriptions, there's nothing here that's going to make somebody feel fearful about what would happen if they don't solve this desire. So now let's contrast this with a new lead. And this is the lead that we rewrote for this particular product. And here's how it starts. You missed it. Your daughter's piano recital, your son's soccer game. You were there physically, but your mind was checking your pulse, Googling symptoms, fighting off the crushing feeling that you were about to die right there in your seat. By the time you came back, it was over. The applause had already started. She'll never be 7 years old again. He'll never score his first goal for the second time. Those exact moments gone. You can't get them back. You can't rewind. You can't redo. They happened without you. Okay? So this is the rewritten lead. Notice how it's very clear that there's one idea. There's one emotion that we're making somebody feel. And the way the copy is constructed is that it's almost like a slippery slope. You read one sentence, it's very easy to read. So you go to the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And notice how we're painting a very visceral image in our audience's mind. And we're painting a very vivid picture of the experience of what it's like to have anxiety or to have panic attacks. Now, if you contrast that with this one, where it's very almost like robotic, it's very logical, it's very surface level, where we're like, have you forgotten what being normal even feels like? Like, this in and of itself is not going to make somebody feel something. Maybe they recall back to a certain memory. But if I bring a very traumatic, and it doesn't always have to be traumatic, but if I bring like a core memory or core emotion to the forefront of someone's mind, now I've got them captivated to read the rest of the copy. And these are the exact changes that you want to make in your ad copy and you want to obsess over, because I'm telling you guys, I've spent the last 3 hours today reading people's ad copy, and every single piece of copy that I've read today where I've suggested changes, they've all been within the first 100 to 200 words, because they literally make or break your ad copy. So in the description of this video, we're going to do this together. I have a document, which is called the AI Lead Writing Claude SOP, full AI lead writing. And I'm going to show you how to use it to create a really awesome lead. So let's go ahead and find a product together. All right, let's find the products. Let's go ahead and type in cat water fountain. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Damn, people are going crazy with my ads. Okay, let's do sagging. Wait, hold on. That might get me demonetized. Let's do bra. Let's do a bra product. Okay, let's be careful here because we might get demonetized, because I saw a product for a bra. I think it was like Hey Shape, or was it Hey Shape? Let's see. Was it these guys? Okay. Let's take a clothing product. It wasn't Hey Shape. It was like a shaping bra. It was like a bra for like 50-year-old women and older. Let's see. Shaping bra. Shape LX. Got Lane. Comfit underwear. She Curve. Okay, wait, hold on. Basically doing some product research here, because I want to show you how to use this prompt to be able to create some really good ads. Okay, I found them. So the company was called Body and Bra, and these guys make a bra that is specifically for older aged women. And the main pain point that they target is having to do with sagging, you know what. So pendulous breasts, we'll call them for the purposes of this video. So this is the product, and we're going to do a full lead right for this right now. And so I can show you how to use this prompt to be able to create better leads that are going to make your ads actually scale. What we're going to do is open up a fresh window of Claude. Again, the prompt is in the description of this video, and we're going to copy all of this. Yes, the entire thing. Okay. So where's it? So you copy this entire prompt, go into Claude. We're going to go like this. Okay. The entire prompt is in there. And then what we can do is describe what product we're selling. So all I did was said, I sell a shaper bra for women 45 plus. Here's an example of my advertorial so you can better understand my product. Now, obviously, we're running through this very quickly. If I was to actually write leads, I would have a few foundational documents that I would upload to Claude with information about my specific product. But I just want to show you the power of this prompt if you use it correctly, and how to actually come up with a lead that's going to make your copy resonate and convert. So it's going to have some questions here. We're going to say our audience is mostly solution aware and generate leads. Now, see, all these questions about awareness level, like typically we would have a prompt for actually doing the research to understand what the awareness level is. Okay. That's awesome. Already we've got some great concepts here, man. Yeah, you've been sold a lie for perky breasts. This is sick. Why support? I think I like this. After 8 years of research, she discovered why women's breasts keep sagging despite supportive bras. That's awesome. The bra industry's dirty secret, why your lift bra makes sagging worse. This is also a really good hook. Are you wearing a bra designed for someone else's body? Okay, here's the lead. You've tried the lift bras, the support bras, the ones with extra padding and triple hook closures, and for the first hour or two, they seem to work. But by mid-afternoon, everything's shifted, your back aches, and you're right back where you started, adjusting, tugging, and avoiding mirrors. Here's what no one tells you. Those bras weren't designed for you. Okay, this is more of a problem-solution lead. As you can see, we're going to get a bunch of potential lead types. Now, one thing that you'll want to do with this prompt is if there is a particular emotion that you have done the research to understand is a huge motivating trigger for your audience, then you want Claude to really emphasize that in the lead. So while these leads, again, they seem really good, right? And they are a really good foundation, but they're not driving enough of that emotional response that I'm looking for. So let's take this lead because I actually love the frustration lead. Let's see. Okay. Let's say I like this and I like this option. All I'm going to say is, so we're going to put this back into Claude so we can get more of an emotional response. And we'll say the primary motivating trigger for somebody to make a purchase decision in this audience is frustration. So how can we make frustration the one core emotion that and the primary emotional response that we elicit from our customer in the first few sentences? Okay, so we'll press that in and let's keep working with this. All right, so here we have rewritten the lead. This time we asked it to focus on the frustration. I also asked it to focus on writing this for an IQ of 110. And here is the final lead that we have put together that I'm actually pretty happy with. So headline, have you given up on finding a bra that actually lifts? And then ultra frustration lead copy. You're getting dressed for something that matters, a dinner out, meeting friends, just wanting to feel good in your clothes. You look down and see it again, the sagging. No matter what bra you put on, there it is, staring back at you in the mirror, making everything you wear look wrong. The dress you used to love doesn't hang right anymore. The top that made you feel confident, now you're tugging at it all day. Even a simple sweater feels off and you hate it. You hate avoiding mirrors. You hate standing differently in photos. You hate feeling self-conscious in your own skin. You remember when you didn't think about this, when you could just get dressed and go, when you felt good in your body. Now, every single day starts with that sinking feeling when you see your reflection. Your husband says you look beautiful. Your friends say you're being too hard on yourself, but they don't understand. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel when you're alone in that dressing room, trying on bras that are supposed to lift and support, watching absolutely nothing change. This isn't vanity. This is your confidence disappearing one day at a time. You've tried everything, the expensive bras. Okay, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but hopefully you can see how if we export this to a Google Doc, right? Hopefully it's very evident or self-evident that the rule of one is being applied here perfectly, where we have one core idea. We might even get some different headlines for this if I was to actually run a piece of copy, but this is already, or the way I would construct it is to, this would be my ad text, okay? Like this. So this would be the ad text. This is the headline. Again, hook and headline are used interchangeably, but this would be the first sentence of my copy. And then this would be the actual copy itself, right? Now, I promise you, if you make these changes and if you use this prompt and you focus on applying the rule of one, which is one big idea, one core emotion, one story or fact, one benefit, and one inevitable response through the use of this prompt, not only are you going to be able to generate more effective leads, but this is going to allow you to take existing ads that are currently failing inside of your ad account and to put a meaningful test in your account that will allow you to take those concepts and turn them into winners, exactly as was demonstrated by Christian's test here. So guys, the prompt is going to be linked in the description. Again, please do not run this prompt and just slap up everything, the first thing that you get from Claude, okay? If there's one book that you could read right now that will make you more money, actually, redact that statement because I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube. If there's one book that you could read right now that would make you a better copywriter, that would allow you to increase your ROI from your ads, go read Great Leads right now. I always say, if you want to learn something, go to the source. So don't even take these concepts from me, right? These are my own interpretations and prompt that I created from those concepts, but go read that book so you can understand this. And I promise you, once you start applying this, you're going to see significantly better results and you're going to be able to turn a lot of those losing ads into winners. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content as always. The full prompt for this is linked in the description of this video. And let me know in the comments what issues you're currently struggling with, what topics you want to see next. If it feels like I'm beating a dead horse with leads, it's because this is so important. This is seriously the 80-20 of any good ad is the lead. And all of the people that I've helped turn their ads around have all been through working with their copy and working with their leads. Not the images or the product pages, the landing pages. It's always been about the leads. So guys, let me know in the comments what kinds of videos you want to see next. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.